Hi, my name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr. I was born July 4th, 1986. I'm going to say thank you. Thank you again for tuning in. Today I'm going to talk about something that I personally have done that I thought that I would never want to do, but I realized sometimes it's needed. It's needed to be done. And it really gets me thinking about this whole, what I'm talking about today is not really so much the censorship, but just sometimes just shut your mouth type conversation. And it comes down to something that I want to put it in a way that I see it in my world and how I can see how bigger people in the game want to do the same thing. In the sense of, I don't care if you speak the opposite of what it is that I speak about. I don't care. In reality, I enjoy that. Like, I not enjoy it in a way that I'm not going to battle with you. I'm not going to argue with you. I just like it when someone has an opposing opinion about something that I'm talking about, something that I'm doing. The problems that I start to see are when I have somebody that wants to try to, the word I want to use is infiltrate, may not be the right word, but try to come in and act as if they're like, I don't want to use it, but this is the simplest way, on your side. They try to act like they're on your side. And they try to talk to you and try to get close to you and try to be like you and try to do everything with you. Only in the end to get in and start to say, oh, he said that like this. He said it like this. Saying that I said the opposite. I don't care if you oppose what I say. I care if you are saying to people that I am saying the opposite of what I am saying. That's the part that I think is, I don't want to use the word dangerous, but silly and not needed. Now, if I said, smack the dog in the face, it's just going to go obvious. Smack the dog in the face to get to listen to you. If I said that, I said, that's how you get a good dog. You just do that. Okay, you could say, this is what Mark was saying to do. But if I said never do that, and you're said, I don't want to even say it behind someone's back because you're clearly publicly doing it, you're saying to other people, no, he said, if I'm saying never smack the dog, you're saying, oh yeah, he definitely talks about smacking dogs, and that's what he recommends to do. I got a big issue. And I got a big issue with a person like that. Because that, in reality, to me, comes down to jealous and envious type people. I think I made like 3 or 4 videos on this concept, but obviously we got to keep going and keep going deeper and deeper into it. And for people to start to become more aware of the people that are around you, are the people there that are trying to actually like learn and want to help and try to better, or are they only there to better themselves in a way to sabotage you to get to themselves to be better? It's something that I want a lot of people to think about, because there's some questions that I've been asking people recently, just, I don't know why, but random whys start to come to me. And I greatly appreciate when I start to ask different questions as opposed to the same questions I was. And a new question that I like to ask people, a new question, and new things that I like to be able to say. And I want to talk about that right now. I realized how to be able to find out if someone is there for you, or they're only there for themselves, and they're in this mindset of, I'm right, you're wrong, and you'll never be right because I'm always right. And something that I say to people is, I become accountable. I say to you something that I want to say is a flaw of mine, something that I have shortcomings with, something that I'm not proud of about myself, something that I'm trying to work on with myself, something I'm trying to be able to overcome with myself. And I start to share that with people. And I share that with people to see what it is that they're going to say in reality nowadays, no longer just freely sharing information. Unfortunately, this world is not as kind as I want it to be. It's ruthless. It's straight up backstabbing ruthless, unfortunately. And my opinion, it's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's not any of our faults. It's something greater than us that's driving us to these huge fits of rage, in a sense of jealousy, in a sense of greed, a sense of lust, a sense of, I think jealousy and gossip is the same, but in the sense of all this stuff. And I realize that when I say to somebody, I struggle with, say, maybe something that I just recently have been talking about. I struggle with pushing away when I get close to things. I struggle with that sometimes. I struggle with allowing and accepting people to come around me. And since I've realized that, I tried to do, say, the opposite of just freely talk to and enjoy everybody. And I realized you can't do that. You can't do that. So I'm sitting here and saying, hey, I'm struggling with this. I'm trying to work on this. I'm trying to get better with this. And if the person just looks at you and says, yeah, you do struggle with that. I don't have any issues like that. I don't have anything like that. And I got it all right now. And I know you have problems like that. That person's not looking out for you. That person's not looking out for the best of you at all. That person is looking at you as you are a flaw. You have issues, and that person is coming in to try to fix you. And when someone tries to come in and fix you, that's where the control starts. That's where things start to get hostile. That's where all this stuff when I talk about these dogs correlates to everything about us as humans more than the dog. Way more than a dog. This is where when I'm trying to fix the dog, I'm going to have to now control the dog. When I have to now control the dog, I'm now stripping away from who that dog is. And when I start to strip away from who they are no longer going to be able to recognize and realize who they are. And then they're going to run into the scenario of always the concept of walking on eggshells, not really sure, not really knowing what's going on because they don't know anymore. They know what that person is trying to force them to know without them actually being able to know, say, in the best way to put it, realness for themselves. That's something that I've noticed that we as humans are doing to each other, and I don't believe that most people, this is why for me I just forgive and move forward because I don't believe don't take this the wrong way, but intelligent enough to be able to put a plan like that together yourself. So, good girl. Something else is driving people to be able to get into these mindsets and being able to do this stuff. Something is controlling them to control others, and they don't know how to get out of that control, and they believe that that's the only way to be able to live on these lands. It's the only way to be able to do anything, to be able to get anybody to even like you, be able to get anybody to be able to be around you. You got to do these controlling things to think that I have to act and force and fake a way to be a way. And that's something that I want a lot of people to really, really think about. And especially down to this concept here. If I say something, and these videos that I've been making recently have been a little extra, I guess I can say. Hey, Johnny's out with me today, just decided to bring him because we're going on a short walk today. He can only come out here like once a month even. If I walk him on a walk like this every day, the dude, like he literally starts to give me attitude. He's like the opposite of my other dogs. He gives me attitude if I walk or move him too much. He's like, I quit. The other ones are like, they give me attitude if I don't walk them enough. So that's why he's a classic pet dog. He needs literally like zero exercise to just be able to hang out and be in the house. But got way off topic because I don't know, I just like seeing Johnny out here sometimes. What he does at home is what he does everywhere. And what you work on at home and you're able to get, you're gonna more likely be able to get everywhere. Something that I want a lot of people to just really understand and work on. But this concept of if I'm saying something and you get triggered, you get to the point that you're like, no, I gotta shut this off. I'm done with you. I gotta get out of here. Someone just in reality sent me a comment like that it made me think like, don't take this the wrong way, but how young-minded are you of not realizing, is that you or is that me? Did I cause that or did you cause that? This is the thing that I believe most people are kind of running away from and avoiding and escaping in life. You're believing that you can hear something from somebody and that person triggered you and they are wrong. That's where I would wish that if anybody wants to learn how to grow up and grow and get more understanding and more wisdom and just know how to be more and be a stronger and a more resilient person on this planet, know that whatever somebody's saying to you and they're triggering you, like in reality, go further into it. Listen to it again and feel and get in that sensation. Experience it of just like, they're so wrong. There's nothing that's right with them. They're so silly, and realize it's not a single thing that person is saying or doing. It's all in you. It's all in you. You are the one that's doing that. And then what starts to happen is you start to get this sensation. You don't know what to do with it. So if you try to avoid it for a little while, it starts to just build and build and build and build and build. And then it's all that you're thinking about all day. And then you're thinking about that all day of a, say, random person that you have a random person. And that person is starting to consume you. And then what starts to happen is you can no longer run from it. It's there. And then when they do something more again, and then you have to say something again. You have to do something again. And you have to just keep going further into it again. You can't just avoid it. Now you're not avoiding, now you're going head first into it. And when you start to go head first into it, that's the part that you really start to show how childish you are, I guess I can say in the end, in reality. That's the part where you start to show how you're not growing. You stunted. You decided to say that the world is a problem and I'm perfect. And when you're believing that, I'm telling you, you are a struggling human being right now if you believe that the world is a problem and you're perfect. And not that you don't have to do anything. You don't have to change nothing about you, and the world just needs to conform to you. You're struggling. You're struggling. And I know you're struggling. I know deep down, all inside of me, a fact on fact that you're struggling right now. I don't care how much you want to put this mask and this front on of everything is perfect, everything is good. You're struggling because no one on this planet should trigger you if you already had it all figured out. Because as someone said, if I said something that got you to the point that you started to feel hostile, that means that you got some growing to do. That means that you got something that you need to be able to overcome. That doesn't mean that I need to change so that I'll be able to conform to what you're looking for. This is the thing that a guy on YouTube I like watching a lot of his videos. He just talks just life. He's just an older guy that just talks life, and it's fascinating of him talk about these concepts of these people that come into his channel, and people that are always trying to basically tell him what to say. Tell him, oh, make a video on this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. In a sense of trying to tailor their experience for them, as opposed to tailoring the experience for the masses. Because I get recommendations, and I get recommendations of talking about something that's going to be able to help out, like help people out. Get me to keep pushing me into that next path to be able to help more people out. Not just help a person out, not just help my own self out, but to help someone else out. That's why, in reality, I kind of want to. I don't know why I got like 100 video ideas in my head this past couple of weeks, and I'm trying to like zone down and let that all go so I can just talk about one thing. But one thing of a question that I've been asking is, why am I doing this? Why do I care? Is the words that came to me. Why do I care? My stuff is looking pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with it. I decided to go past that point when I started getting triggered by what people are saying and realizing, okay, I need to go further into this. I need to start figuring out what's going on with me. And then I start seeing that about myself, and I start going further into that. And then I start to see things in my life just start to change, and nowadays just exponentially changing. It's exciting. Life is starting to, for the first time in my life, at 38 and a half years old, starting to get exciting. It's starting to get to the point that I enjoy being able to be around. I enjoy being able to be here. I enjoy being able to just simply be alive and do nothing at all and just be alive. I'm starting to absolutely enjoy it. And that came through me in a sense of wanting to see that I had issues, wanting to see I had problems, and saying, okay, I want to do something about it. Because the first person that really challenged me a lot was just working with these dogs. I've never had anybody that said something to me that really just got me boiling. It got me boiling. I'm just like, what the heck is going on here? But in reality, my stuff was a mess. And I was trying to act like and talk to the world as if it was good to go. Hi, you just came running over here like you was all excited to do something. Want me to throw your stick for you? Yeah, I'll toss it. Go get it. Johnny, that's hers right now. He just takes them all. That's the one thing about him. Fetch and him. He's the fetch. Oh, you gonna take her stick too, homie? It's all right, girl. We'll play. I love how athletic you are. We'll go play some fetch in the water later. Kahi, all done. Something about these dogs that got me boiling because I knew something was wrong. Something wasn't right. But it put it that I had no choice but to actually look at it. Actually just look at it. Say like, what the heck is going on right now? What is happening? And it just challenged me so much. And then I had to just stop and just think and realize that person isn't the one that is making me trigger. It's my own self because of insecurities that I got inside of me that are going on. And I decided to go head first into that as opposed to run away. Because most of y'all are running away. And some of y'all, unfortunately, I gotta ban you in a sense of, I gotta help you out before you start to go destructive your own self, unfortunately. This is the part of the, say, censorship that I don't want to say it's censorship. It's you're going too far and you're putting too much into it that you're starting to hurt yourself. And I'm not here to do that to anybody. And that's why I can see on how big social media can like ban certain topics and make you not be able to say certain things. I get it. It literally makes sense. It doesn't make sense until you think. A lot of things in life don't make sense until you deal with it. Many of y'all have no idea what it's like to get information and feedback and everything from making a YouTube channel because you've never done it. Even if you've got 100 videos and 100,000 subscribers, you may only have, you may not have reached that point. Like, for instance, me, I've reached a whole different point this week than I ever had before in all this, like 4, 5, 6 years now I've been making videos. I hit a new point 6 years later that I've never hit. And now in a minute, I see something completely different here. I see more. I would have quit YouTube literally if I would have got comments the way that I've seen how they're going. I would have quit years ago. I wasn't ready for it in reality. I wasn't nowhere ready for it. But in reality, I would have quit in the sense of running away, as opposed to just ignoring it in a way, but also just not going further into it. But knowing and having the skills of, I'm not gonna let it really slow me down. But the thing here is, I don't want someone to get to the point that you just get this rage in you because you just can't quite let it go. And I'm not here to dang girl, you all What you got on you? You acting like you ant infested or something. You giving me vibes like something's going on with you. We good? We good. You acting all lovey-dovey because Johnny out here now. Change, any kind of change, it really gets a lot of little things just to look a little different. And then some just can't, some just, it's hard. It's hard for them to deal with that change and have something else going on. Because in reality, right now, Johnny is, you good? You don't come here? Johnny, this dog, he got an ear and an eye on me all the time. You come here. He got an eye and an ear on me all the time. But I have to put a little more focus on him because it's just, he's not out here all the time. So she gets it a little in her like, well, why are you paying more attention to him and not paying attention to me? It's something that is just, it's fascinating. And that concept right there is why, if you want to try to come at me in that sense of trying to come in sweet like you want to help and then try to switch up in a sense of trying to hurt, I'm gonna deal with that. I'm gonna deal with that. I'm gonna deal with that the way that I deal with that with my dogs here, the same exact way. I'm gonna deal with it. I'm not gonna allow that to happen. I'm not gonna allow that to go on. I'm not gonna allow that to be able to be something that's just normal, because I can see it. And some people may not be able to see it, but some folks are able to see through the lies and manipulation that people have, all because of the main word I want to use is jealousy and being envious. A lot of people just do not know how to control themselves because of that. They do things that just something behind them is driving them to do something that they can't get away from, because you're not wanting to deal with it. You're trying to say that it's my fault when it's your fault. And not even to say fault, but you're the one that's not wanting, you're the one that's responding to something that a random person is saying. That's something that all of us, in everything that we do, from work people to family people to friends to random folks that you talk to, if these folks are getting in your feelings and getting you to respond, to getting you to react, there's something fishy going on here. There's something that you need us to look at. There's something that you need to dig further into. There's something that you're lacking in. There's something that you need to really exit all focus of what you used to do and focus only on that to figure out, why am I reacting? And sit in that emotion, sit in that feeling, and figure out, why am I going through this? Because it's something that is just getting horrible today, because it's easy to just type something away behind a screen and you hide yourself behind fake usernames. But do that and come to someone in their face and see if you can have that same level of confidence to be able to do that face to face, the way that we used to do it 50 years, even 25 years ago. You had to go to someone face to face. You had to be in the congregation. But nowadays, a congregation is my YouTube studio channel. Anybody is able to come in and say something and have input. Anybody is able to come in and say something to try to get a whole bunch of people to say, hey, look at that instead over here. They tried to like band together and tried to get people to go over there instead. And there could be a whole thread going on over there while something completely different is going on over there. And then that thread starts going, then it's a trickle effect that it's like a virus that starts to come inside and just starts to try to consume and take over and destroy because of jealous and envious, being greedy, being man, what's that one good word? Self-entitled, being a main character syndrome, that you think that it's it, you're it. And because you got triggered, because someone got into your emotions, you want to do everything you can to try to fight at that person. And I'm gonna walk away from that fight. I'm not gonna allow you to even fight with me. I'm not even gonna put myself out there to allow you to be able to do it. I'm gonna say, just go away. And I'm not gonna allow you to come back in. Straight up. That's how it is. The best way I can do it is talk about like my new club that I'm putting together. I'm putting a walking, running, hiking, just doing stuff activities club together. Get the lure course running, get the flirt pour running, run out, chase some animals, sometimes running, go hiking, walking, running, just doing stuff type club. And there's gonna be some people that are just gonna get kicked out from the club. The club's not for everybody. It's not gonna be for everybody. It's gonna be for people that, I'm fine, again, if you don't agree with me, stay it, I don't care. But you are not, and anyone is not going to go to other people and say, I said this, I did this to other folks when I didn't say that. And I'm not talking about that. That's the part that things in my mind start to get silly, childish, and I don't have time for those games. The things that I got time for is to figure out how to be able to keep learning, to be able to help folks be able to get in a better place. And something that I've learned to be able to help you right now in a way of being able to realize who's there for you and not, is asking the simple, not even ask a question, but just tell a story. Tell a story to someone that you think you really care about, and no, someone that you think cares about you, to verify, do they actually care about you, or they only care about themselves? Because to a lot of us, and unfortunately, a lot of us men, we're projects to women. We're these fixes that these women are trying to do to us men. We're broken, we're messed up. So these women are coming in and try to mess us up in a way of controlling us because we need fixing. It's something that, unfortunately, it's like tables are turning. Men used to do this a lot, straight up. It just is what it is. That's how men used to talk about, I mean, even when I was a little kid, I used to hear the guys and the dads and the stuff talk about their wives as these fixes. They got to fix their wife. How do I get her to clean, Kahi? How do I get her to clean up more? How do I get her to this? How do I get her to that? How do I get her to do this? It's like you're trying to fix her. So now it's switching, that these women are in the sense of now they need to fix us because they're fine. We're all fine and we need fixing. And if you're in a relationship with someone that thinks that they need to fix you, I'm telling you, you are headed for an extreme amount of control. They're going to be controlling you, ruling you, demanding over you, dictating over you, being demeaning over you. They're going to be everything in a sense of straight up hostile to you to get what they want from you. And they're not going to quit. They're not going to let up. They're going to keep driving and driving and driving. If someone is trying to fix you, because that's what I see with the dogs, people. When I'm trying to fix the dog, when I'm saying you're a defect, you're wrong, I need you to now to act and do like this. I could never, this is a word that I will use, is never. I could never have that dog out here when I got him, when I had him under control. I could, even if I had an e-collar on him right now, I would have to be constantly eyes laser focused, bumping that collar every so often to say, hey buddy, just stay over here. Hey buddy, just chill out. Hey buddy, stop fighting with my dogs. He's still got a little bit in him with that, but it's nothing as it used to be. As he wants his stick. If we're playing fetch, he's like, me and him are playing fetch. He's got main character syndrome with that. But everything else, nothing matters. But I could not do what I'm doing under control. I had to let that control go and say, Johnny, what do you need to do? What do you want to do? Who are you? What do you really care about? How can I make your life better for who you are? And how can I sacrifice and compromise something for me so that you can be better? And now I got a dog that I could do the same way with all the rest of my dogs. And this is, I want to make a whole video on this, but I'm going to say it right now because I always like to, at the end of the video, kind of talk about something that I'm going to talk about again. So I'm going to say thank you right there. And I want to say something right now that is you're here. That means that you're really looking to figure out how to be able to do something better in your life. And I'm not trying to change you to be me. I want you to change to be yourself. I want you to learn who you are. And you do what you want. What I do, this is why I don't like talking techniques and things with dogs, because this is the technique that I do. What commands and cues and stuff that I put on my dogs is what I do. I don't want you to even worry or think about how I do things. I don't even want you to worry. You say, how did you get your dogs to just be here? I don't even want you to focus on that. I want you to focus on what you want, what you're looking for, how you want to be able to do it. You get the information to be able to understand how to get what you're desiring. And the main thing that I would want everyone to really listen to on that concept is figure out, am I trying to control things around me to be what I want? Or am I trying to see the best in and amplify the existence and allow the things around me to be who they are and just express who they are? You may not like things about them. There's things about every single one of my dogs that I seriously, straight up, use these words that I can't stand. Like I just cannot stand some things that my dogs do. Straight up. And what dog training would represent is things that I can't stand. I need to do something so that I can get them away from and do something, anything to get that sensation out of me. I've realized I don't want that sensation out of me. I want to be able to figure out how to be able to get more neutral to that sensation. When that irritation comes because the dog is just doing something just savage, how do I get neutral when that feeling comes? I see the dog doing, I'm just like, what the heck? How do I allow myself to just, it's okay. That's, for me, how I got my dogs to stop rolling in poop. I would, every single time they would do it, it's not the dog poop, it's like cow, chicken, everything at the house, horse, donkey, everything. And then if they find deer stuff, anything out here even, they would just do it. And I would just see it, and it's just disgusting to me. I'm like, that's just nasty, but I'm like, that's a dog. Dog do what dogs do. But that's still, that dog do, but now I got to do extra work because now I got to bathe you, now I got to this, now I got to do all this extra stuff to be able to do what that dog wants to do. And sometimes I'm just like, I just can't stand this. So for me, I learned when that feeling comes over, I'm just gonna look at it. It's okay. And my dogs don't do it anymore. I don't know why, but they seriously just don't do it anymore. My Border Collie was the hardest one at the house. Every day he's rolling in cow poop, every single day. That boy had to get a rinse down every single day because he would just see it, especially when it's like watery and a little loose. This boy would just be rolling. And you see his face, I got videos of it. He is so happy. And that happy face that he has would just like seriously enrage me. There's stuff about my dogs that I just can't stand, but I'm not going to change them because I don't like it. I'm going to work upon the things that I really do like more and not try to take out of them the things that just who they are, what they represent. There's stuff about every single one of mine that I just don't like. I'm not here to change them. I'm here to give them the skills so that they could be able to make a decision on their own what they want to do based on the environment, me and everything else, what they want to make happen next. Because for one, like the Border Collie, he realized he don't like baths. So he's rolling in poop, he got to get a bath. So me getting all excited and all like mad about it kind of just made him want it more. It made him just want it. But then what started happening is I just look at it and say, oh, bath time. Like literally, I would just turn it in like, oh, okay, well, he's dirty, bath time, go rinse down. That boy just stopped and he looked at me like, maybe I need to change because I don't like this part of it. And he did it on his own. I didn't have to force it. I didn't have to like yank the collar or do anything or do nothing. I didn't force nothing. I made him, put it on him. Buddy, you got choices. We got options based on what we're doing here. Because the first thing was, I'm not going to pet you. He would always like trying to come up to, you rolling poop. I'm not touching that. And he started to learn like, I want the affection, but I can't get it if I this. He's making the choices on his own. I'm not just like punishing it out of him. I'm saying the best way of putting it, there's consequences and boundaries. The consequence of doing something, this is what's going to happen. And it doesn't have to come down to like say, a punishment. Him getting a bath, it's not punishing the dog in a sense. It's just rinsing him to be able to move forward. As opposed to me putting the e-collar on him and I see him watch do it and I give him a tap, you better or else, he wouldn't stop. Because that's how his dog was. He wouldn't stop. He would just keep doing and doing and doing. So the biggest thing that I would want anyone to just really, really understand, especially with there's a lot of the critics that come in that talk about what I do in a sense of, oh, your dogs are nice because of farm stuff and you live on land and that's why. But I lived on land ever since I've had all of these dogs here. And Border Collie, I got him about like 2 weeks after I moved out there. And I got this dog back here in January of 2021. And I got that dog in June of 21. And I got this dog in 23 January. I've been out there this whole time. And this whole time, my dogs were a hot mess. The location where I live proves to me that it has nothing to do with making the dog nice. It's about what we do. What we do. Because I had dogs on my property that someone would say, oh, if I lived there, my dog would be perfect. Prove it. Prove it. Because I proved it. I proved that my dogs were a hot mess. They were just a hot mess. To the point of now they're good. And I'm still in the same environment. Still the same land. Still the same area. Still the same everything. So that to me just proves more of get certain things that this is the part that I want, especially when the people come in the comments on saying the opposite of what I'm saying, trying to say to somebody that doesn't know, putting words in my mouth, I guess I could say. Stop putting words in other people's mouths and start to just take accountability, your own self, and realize you got something to work on. You got something that you need to do. You got something that you need to focus on. And start trying to focus on what someone else has and what someone else is doing, and focus on what you need to focus on. The skills needed to figure out how to be able to really get what is it you're looking for is the skills of understanding the concepts of control. Understand what control is. Understand what it isn't. Understand how to control. Understand all these things. I've read so many books on manipulation that it teaches me that things that I was doing, that I was just living. I'm just doing random stuff. Because I always wonder why like most, say, relationships in my life are like toxic. And I'm reading these books. I've read probably a dozen or so of books on all the topic is just manipulation, dark manipulation, good manipulation, evil manipulation, just manipulation books. And I started to realize, dang, I do these things. I do this stuff. Like I do what they're saying is like what is considered evil, manipulative type stuff. I'm doing that. Not even aware that I'm doing it, but I'm doing it. A lot of times that's the thing. You don't know what you're doing. You're doing it thinking that this is normal, this is fine. That's what we need to start to see. If things are looking weird in your life, stop thinking it's that. Start looking that it's me. And start researching more of what control, what manipulation is, what all these things are. And then you start to realize, oh, okay, that makes sense. Because the biggest thing, this is the biggest transformation with me and these dogs. What I want someone to do to me, what I'm doing to the dog. And if I don't want someone to put hands on me, then I'm not gonna put hands on the dog. If I don't want someone to yell at me, I'm not gonna yell at the dog. If I don't want someone to I guess one thing that's the best way of putting it. If I want to be able to run and be able to play, be able to experience, then I want to be able to make sure that something else is able to, and not say, oh, you're so excited, just sit down and shut up and be quiet. I wouldn't want someone to do that to me. I wouldn't want someone to say, oh, you're scared of that? Well, okay, well, take this food, take these treats. I wouldn't want someone to do that to me. And I started to realize how to really get out of the mess that I was in and get into something that I just really am able to enjoy. Because if I'm able to deal with it, then I'm going to, for the most part, enjoy it. But if I don't, then I'm not going to like it. And I realized that's just the same way that all these dogs work in my life. I do to them what I want to be done to me. Simple. Johnny, you come here. You've been stealing everybody's bones out here. Come here. Johnny, I'll get you. Come here. Johnny, not the big one, man. Come here. All my dogs just act like puppies at this moment today. They're all so young. He's not young. He had to be the same like Kahi. He had to be like a year and a half, 2 years old when I first met him. So he's got to be like 6, 7 years old by now. Somewhere in there. 5, 6, 7. Both of these dogs are like 5, 6, 7. And they just had this spunk to them today. This just like this excitableness that's like not over too much. It's just enough. It's cute, I guess I could say. It's something that is just really fascinating that I've just, especially this dog. I've never seen this dog just like goofy, maybe the word. Just excitable. He's always been like, and that's always been me. Straight up, just hostile. Till I realized something about myself. I got to work on that. I got to do something about it. And I started working on it, and I started seeing something just absolutely change.